Welcome to Feisty Chess. I've got white against Sophia B27 on Lichess. And let's see what Sophia plays against E4. All right, E5. So we go knight F3. And I think I'll go for an Evans Gambit if allowed. If knight C6, I'll play bishop C4, the Italian game. Coming off a tough loss last time. Okay, here we go into the Italian. Ooh, okay, the two knights. Now, I have to go for this, knight G5. It's the critical test of the two knights. Probably be met by D5 here. My son played the two knights in a recent tournament and ran into knight G5, and he had no idea what to do against it. He ended up playing a Traxler, which is bishop C5. But then his opponent took on F7 with the knight, forking the rook and queen. And black is still in it at that point in the Traxler and the wildest opening imaginable. But my son didn't fare too well. He played queen E7, and then, I don't know, the opponent took the rook, and my son ended up letting him castle. So key move in the Traxler is bishop takes F2 check, so white can't castle. Anyway, the moves for black here are knight A5, the main move, knight D4, and it's funny enough, yeah, B5. So knight D4, this is the Fritz variation. Now I know this pretty well. You want to kick that knight immediately. And then if B5, which I think is the best move, the counterintuitive move is bishop F1 in that case. So B5 and bishop goes back to F1. If it goes to E2, it just gets taken by the knight. If it goes here, then bishop F5. Anyway, we're not seeing that. Knight F5. Okay, I'm looking at just castling. He's got knight D6. So if I try this, then knight takes D6 covers everything because knight on D6 covers F7. So castling looks good. D5 is an option. D4, I should say. D5 also defends this knight with the bishop. Yeah, I'm going to go with D4, and if he takes, I may just let that sit and then castle. In case of the yawns here. Yeah, I like this. It feels gambity to do this. And if he takes with the knight, I can take with the... Oh no, I can't take with the queen. I can go for the check. Or I suppose I could just take on D4 there. Okay, knight takes f7 looks good here. Knight takes f7. So bishop e7 I think was a mistake. Knight takes f7. Forking these pieces, so the king has to take. And then d6 check will win the piece back. Yeah, this has to be good. Let's look at it again. Knight takes, king takes, check, and then maybe bishop e6. Probably take. King takes. Yeah, that's got to be good. I'm going for it. Yeah, bishop e7. That bishop is vulnerable on e7 because d6 comes with check. And he really has to take it here, right? And if he wants to get this bishop in the game, he's going to have to get his king more in the game than he wants. The question is, if bishop e6, do I want to take? I guess he can take with the knight. Okay. Well, now I better take this back. Do I have anything better? I don't think so. Okay, this pawn is pinned. Bishop g5 looks good. Queen f3. No, that just leads to... I'll also just take and go up a pawn. I think bishop g5 is the way to go. And he's got knight e4 attacks the bishop, but then queen f3 check. He's got bishop g4 here. Maybe queen d2. Maybe just queen takes d4, which that seems kind of boring. Okay, if I take here, I can give up my bishops for the knights to loosen up his king. But I don't think that's the best thing. I got queen f3. Queen f3 looks good. If bishop g4, then I can just take here. Although, oh, you know what? Queen d4 is even better. That hits both knights. It doesn't allow bishop g4. So yeah, queen d4. And this knight is actually pinned now. Both knights are pinned. He's got to play c6, I guess. But then I just take off one of the knights. Okay. Okay, bishop takes here looks good. If he takes with the queen, then I take here, and I'll win a second pawn, and yeah, that looks really strong. If he takes with the pawn, Yeah. He can take with the pawn. And then I take here, and he takes with this pawn. And I'm better. But I'm looking for something more crushing. Maybe just knight d2, and then we're planning knight e4. He's kind of pinned up in the meantime. Yeah, let's just get that last piece in the game. I have a check on c5 if I want it. I got all the advantages here. Got the extra pawn. Got the better development. Okay. Can I just hit this with my rook? Or is now the time for knight? Knight e4. This knight's not pinned anymore. So I could take here. But then he... You know, knight e4 still looks good. I'm going to go for it. A lot of pressure on f6 here. If he ever tries to, like, king f7, then I take this off, and if he takes with the knight, then I win a piece with knight g5 check. That's oh. I think this just drops a bunch. So bishop takes, and whatever he takes back with, I'm going to play bishop takes knight here. Could also go bishop takes knight immediately, and if he takes with the knight, I take here. He can get the queens off that way. Okay, I'm going to take here. The thing I want to avoid is just ending up in some kind of lame pawn up rook ending. And my next move is probably going to be bishop takes knight. I probably could have piled up the pressure with, say, rook a to d1 there, pinning that knight. So both knights are still pinned. That might have been better. Okay, and if I take with the knight, if I take with the bishop, yeah, he can't take the queen, or I just hang on to the bishop like bishop takes d4. So yeah, this looks really strong. I think he needs to trade queens. And then I'm up 2 pawns at least. So it's not the most exciting thing, but being up 2 pawns, and I think I'm forcing the queen trade here, because otherwise this check looks pretty brutal. Yeah, we're up 2 healthy pawns here. Okay. I want to defend with this rook, because this rook's got a job to do to defend this a-pawn. Probably go f3, king f2. My knight is kind of useful here right now, but he can come back to e4. He's very mobile. Yeah, the knight would look great on e5, wouldn't it? e5 or c5? I like to look at e5, so I'm going to come back this way. He's got bishop h4. h5, bishop h5. It's a little bit annoying here. Okay, well, he missed that at least. Yeah, knight to e5. Looks good. I wouldn't mind taking that bishop with my knight. All right, this should be a technical win. I got 3 minutes to do it. My opponent has an extra minute. My knight is at least as good as that bishop. I'll probably play a3. Well, maybe b3. Depends on what this bishop does. If I can swap this bishop off. Okay, he wants to keep the bishop. Okay. What if I go do a rook lift here? Oh, let's just play b3 right now. Make this other rook mobile. All right, well, that's a good move. I can cover with knight f3. He can get a rook to the 7th. Okay, this looks good. Now I've got the 7th rank covered. I can go maybe king f1. He wants to try to double his rooks. He doesn't really have a way to do it without getting forked here. Maybe king to h8, but then that's not the way his king wants to be going in an ending. That's an interesting try. He wants to double up. But actually it doesn't work, does it? Okay. g4 is one thing I'm thinking. That looks a little... That takes care of my back rank problem. Problem is he's got rook g5 then. His threat is rook here, and he's going to win that knight, so I need to do something. Wait, no. No, there is no threat of that because... Okay. He can play rook there, and I've got to check. So now I've gotten rid of my back rank problem. But if he tries to win this knight, I've got this check. And If he takes the knight, I win his rook. And otherwise, I'll just trade on d5. Or maybe I go back knight e3, and that way I'm not giving up the second rank. Yeah, let's do knight e3. Covers, hits this rook, covers the other rook, my own rook. The problem, if I had taken, is that after knight e3 there, he can play a rook to the second. I suppose he still can. But I don't see where it gets him after king e1. Right? The rook has to be traded now. Okay. Happy here. Looking good. My knight covers c2, which is really important. So now I can go after his kingside pawns. Do I have any decent checks? Let's just start with this. And my pawns kind of shut down his bishop nicely. His bishop really doesn't have much good things to do here at all. He can't check me here. And even if he could check me, I could come to d2. Okay, he is checking me. Okay. I see what he's up to. Let's just come back. I didn't want his rook going to a1. That looks like allowing too much counterplay. I want to keep pawns on both sides of the board. Okay. Let's see if we can finish this off. We got 1 minute. I can't deal with a cat right now. Sorry, cat. I think maybe I'll just start with some moves like g3, h4. See what black does. I'm assuming you're going to retreat that rook, say, to c7. Or she, likely, Sophia. Okay. Well, if he wants to attack from if she wants to attack from a6, then I'll just go rook d2. Okay, I'm going to try to attack that with knight c4. And this is the plan here, to trade off the rooks. Actually, that was a mistake. My earlier move was a mistake. He just needed to take with the bishop, and I would go into that exact rook ending with just a single pawn up. Now I'm hitting this. So my 2 extra pawns on the king side should be able to win once all the pawns get liquidated here. I'll need to recapture if he captures on b3. Oh. Ah. A nice try. Okay, I had to find the right move there. A3 was very clever. The threat was to sacrifice here and then push that pawn on. Actually, it might have been better to sacrifice the bishop immediately, but now I can take there. And there would be no saving the pawn here. Well, this is really instructive, actually. So I should be able to win easily now. But the sacrifice a move earlier was probably better. I don't know if I'd get my knight back in time. We'll have to look at it. Hmm. Get that knight to f6. I should be winning. Yeah, the cat wants to get on me here. Oh my god. I missed this. Okay. All right, well, it's on, isn't it? It is on now. I'm still up one, but that was a horrible blunder. Get the knight to f6. What am I thinking? Okay. Gonna get going on the light squares while we can. Ooh. Okay, one on time. I think I'm winning here. I think I'm winning. But let's start from the beginning. See if we can rhyme a few more times. Okay, two knights. Fritz variation. And here the main move is b5. I've played this quite a bit. You've seen there's a lot of games on my channel with the Fritz variation of the two knights. The main move here is bishop f1, funny enough. But anyway, knight f5 is playable. Queen f3. Oh, that hangs onto the pawn, doesn't it? Yeah, queen f3 makes sense. d4 has only been tried one other time, and looks like black got the better of that game. d3 is the way to go about it, according to the computer. Castling, queen f3, or queen e2. Queen e2 makes sense. Knight d6. Wouldn't we just do this? Huh. Interesting stuff. But d4, e takes, now castles. Okay. Interesting. Look, the computer says this is equal, and then after castles, it gives white a nice advantage. A whole pawn worth of advantage. Silly computers, anyway. Okay, bishop e7 is a horrible mistake because of knight takes. So we found this. I was glad to find this. Simple little tactic. Queen takes e7 is better. b3. Oh, getting the bishop. Wow, the Evans type bishop. Just play b3 and get the bishop to a3. One idea the computer had there. Knight e to d5. Wow. Black's got to put himself back in the pin. Okay, bishop g5 is a good move. Queen takes. Wow, I've got a huge advantage. This just seemed like accumulation of a lot of little advantages. King safety, extra material, bishop pair, just more central control, coordination. But that really adds up. Things like that add up exponentially. They're multiplicative rather than additive, I should say. Knight d2. Okay, I found a lot of good moves. I thought about rook fe1 here. That gets a rook in the game with tempo. This is good too. Yeah, rook, just bringing more rook firepower in. Black really can't untangle very easily. And I might have made things easier. Bishop takes f6. Oh, queen takes f6, of course. I didn't want to give up the knight, but queen takes f6 is better because I'm hitting this rook. Let's see, queen takes f6, rook g8, rook a to e1. Okay. Giving up the knight. No, wait, what? Rook a to e1. Ah, I did this wrong. And what if here? Knight g3. Okay, well, knight takes looked a little simpler. Queen takes. And I get this ending. So the computer doesn't like it as much, but it's a safer margin of victory. Yeah, bishop h5 was necessary here. h3. And just trading that off. Could be trickier to win with just the rooks. Okay, rook d1. It was best to go back. Yeah, big mistake. Just bishop takes. Yeah, I've been getting into this time trouble kind of situation lately where I do have. Okay. King f5, and I've got rook b6. Rook a1. This is good for white, but man, you got to be scared of a passer like that with your king so far away. Anyway, the whole point of this was to go for this rook trade. But even here, okay, the knight can only get back. Here we go. Right here, it's black's move. I think this is what I was worried about, but apparently it doesn't work. But the reason it doesn't work, okay, the computer wants this, but this looks like it might just work. How does the knight stop this pawn? Well, he has this check, fortunately. And now he can stop the pawn. But if it weren't for that check, let's say the king was on f8 and there were no check, there's no way the knight can get back to stop this. And the king can't either, so it's game over. Now here is the nice trap. If I had just taken this pawn, then he takes here, and I can't recapture because, again, that happens. So I have to, gosh, what have I got to try here? I still got a way to cope. Bishop takes a2. I can't imagine this is winning. still for white. Yeah, it likes black now better. Oh, but the move is knight b5. Oh, right, right. And we can grab that pawn at least. Okay. Man, I had some slip-ups right when this cat was bugging me. But yeah, now it's relatively easy. And I should probably play f3 to keep the king out. But I'm okay. Here's where it got interesting again. I couldn't help but try to make it interesting. How did I miss this? How did I possibly miss this? I thought I'm going to get my knight maybe here. All right, just a minute. I'm going to get my knight here. And then I thought, oh, it's even better to get to f6. How do I get to f6? Oh, I got to go through this square. And I didn't check to see that square was safe. I shouldn't have even needed to check. My board vision should just automatically tell me that. But okay, I just give up a knight. It may seem like a flex at this point because I'm still winning. But man, this is interesting. And here's where black ran out of time. But king g3, king d4, centralizing, bishop f7. What if bishop g8? b4. And if he tries to pursue, I just push g6. Oh, this is a draw. Oh, wow, I gave up the win. Oh, wow, b4. b4, and if he takes here, then I just push. And he can't get his bishop ever to a square where he can stop. He can't get on this diagonal. It takes him too long. My plan would have been simpler with this time left. I would have gone for something like this. And king f4. Now this. And it's easy to try to play for a draw when your opponent has a piece and you don't. But I have 3 extra pawns here. And they're only good insofar as you can get a queen out of them, right? I wonder if a4 is just as good. After this, a4 probably wins too. No. King takes g4. King takes f5. Oh, and the thing is, well, no, how's he gonna? Bishop h5. He can get there in time to stop because he can get to the queening square, so that gives him a lot more time. Okay. I might have drawn this, actually. I might have gone for that plan of trying to get rid of these kingside pawns instead of the proper plan of pushing the b pawn with the time I had left. Anyway, thank you for the game, Sophia. And thanks for watching, folks. Stay feisty.